The Meath West TD Damien English has resigned as Minister of State at the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment. His resignation follows revelations on the Ditch website about a planning application he made 14 years ago. The Fine Gael deputy said he had been wrong not to inform Meath County Council about his existing ownership of a property in the county. At the time, he was seeking planning permission to build another house.
Just 2 weeks into the new year, and the coalition has lost another junior minister.
Damien English, Fine Gael!
Damien English has been a TD for over 20 years, representing Meath and Meath West. But he has had to resign as a Minister of State over a false declaration on a 2008 planning application, making this admission on Twitter.
Over 14 years ago, I made a planning application for my family home. In that application, some of the information I gave was not correct. This was wrong, it's not acceptable, and I am very sorry for that.
Damien English told Meath County Council in 2008 that he did not already own a home in Castlemartin in the county at a time when he was applying for planning permission to build another house in Cookstown. Council rules state that applicants must demonstrate a housing need in order to get permission to build a house in a rural area. The revelations were published in the On the Ditch website yesterday. Taoiseach Leo Varadkar said his swift departure illustrated that there is accountability.
It was the right thing for him to resign. I accepted that decision last night. It is a big political price to pay, and I think he's paid it in terms of the political aspect of this.
Opposition members have said that Mr English made the correct decision to resign.
It's really important for those of us who are in political life to be honest in all of our dealings with public bodies, and I think he has done the right thing.
I think it's appropriate that he's resigned. What he did is very serious. There's thousands of people in rural communities all over Ireland who apply for planning permission and for homes and don't get that planning permission, and they fill out the forms correctly, honestly, give the correct information.
This episode is a damaging blow to the coalition just ahead of the new Dáil term.
Damien English has represented the people of Meath for Fine Gael in Dáil Éireann since 2002, and he's been a Minister of State since 2014. His constituents have been giving their response to his decision to step down from office.
The blinds were down in Damien English's constituency office in Navan in Meath today. Not much sign of life. But further up the town, it was busier as locals gave their reaction to the resignation.
I know him from years ago, but a nice fella, do you know what I mean? But you just wonder why they let these things happen, you know.
Do you think he was right to step down?
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah, that's what should happen, you know.
Well, I'm sorry to see he stepped down because he's a good man. He's done a lot for this area and the town, and a very genuine character.
He wasn't right in the first place to not declare it. He's certainly not the only person that hasn't done that, but I think in his position he's done the right thing, I suppose, to step aside.
Damien English has been a TD for this constituency for just over 20 years, and for around half of that time he's been a Minister of State. He will, of course, remain on as a TD, but seasoned followers of politics say losing a junior minister here will have an impact.
It will leave a weakness from the government side there. The other two TDs are opposition TDs, so we are now without, in Meath West, we are now without any voice at either cabinet or junior minister level.
The talk now is of a successor, but here in Meath West today, all politics was local. Conor Hunt, RTE News.
And for more on the ramifications of Damien English's resignation, we're joined now by Sandra Hurley, who's at Leinster House. Sandra, this is the second junior minister to resign over failure to declare an interest in a property. How is this going to impact on the government?
Yes, Sharon, well, this is certainly destabilising for the coalition just ahead of the return of the Dáil next week. And as you mentioned, of course, this is the second junior minister to go overboard on similar issues around property ownership, although some believe that the situation of Damien English is more serious than that of Robert Troy. Now, I think it's notable that the opposition have not called for him to resign his seat. Leo Varadkar said today, the Taoiseach, that would be up to the people of Meath East. Leo Varadkar also said that he would take legal advice on whether any laws were broken here. But certainly speaking to people internally today in Fine Gael, they felt that Damien English had no choice but to resign, and he certainly did so quickly. All this, of course, is more meat for the opposition. But inevitably in politics, talk turns to his successor. There is some suggestion that that appointment could happen quite quickly, perhaps before the weekend. Some names in the mix include Mayo's Alan Dillon, Clare TD Joe Carey, also John Paul Phelan from Carlow Kilkenny and Neil Richmond from Dublin Rathdown, although geography might go against him.
Sandra Hurley of our political staff, thank you.